Chapter 22 New AI Audiobook Voice. With how the rest of my team members were gone and I was left basically alone at Mount Justice despite Red Tornado being there as our chaperone, I just napped the rest of the day away until everyone got back. Yeah, it turns out having a somewhat sentient machine watching over ornery teens isn't really effective, as Red Tornado spent like 16 hours a day hooked up to some kind of super internet cable so he could watch out for cybercrimes. God, I could just imagine some kid being a dick on Facebook or something and the next day Red Tornado turning up to your house and using his robotic voice to convey to your mother how he was being a bully and could be brought up on charges. Hell, just imagining Red Tornado listening in on Call of Duty lobbies and making some kind of naughty list of terrible children made me madly giggle. What are you laughing about, weirdo? Robin asked me as he sat on another seat aside from me as I was watching TV. Oh, I was just imagining Red Tornado finding those competitive game lobbies and having a robotic heart attack at all, cursing and threatening the people due to one another without the context that it's just trash talk, I explained, and Robin snorted before he froze and looked introspective. Well, he is from the 40s. I might need to remind Batman to give him an update on modern slang and culture so Red Tornado doesn't think our entire generation is obsessed with sleeping with our enemy's mother. After a bit more talking with Robin, as he was the first one back, after just getting up from his late-night patrol of Gotham, I asked him if there was any news of importance. Any news? He pondered before shrugging. Well, Batman picked up a kid off the street and is being trained to be another Robin in a year or two, as I plan on moving on from being Robin, and we have been talking about striking off on my own when I hit 15, 16. He explained casually. But I, on the other hand, was frozen briefly with indecision as I realized instantly that the new Robin being trained was Jason Todd. Arguably my favorite of all Robins, especially when he becomes Red Hood. But would I allow him to be tortured by the Light and their cronies after they throw his corpse into a Lazarus pit to be revived after the Joker kills him in canon? I mentally sighed, as unless I wanted to just go to Gotham and kill the Joker, I had no real way of stopping what was to come, but then again this was literally years in the future, so worrying about it for now did nothing except give me anxiety. You don't feel like you are being replaced? I lightly teased Robin, making him scoff. Yeah, let me be replaced, huh? He laughed before he took a drink and continued to speak. As a puny little human going through Batman's training, I can very clearly say that I have no problem if someone else is willing to take Batman's attention off me a bit. Well, that's fair enough. I thought as I recalled how Batman was a very hands-on teacher and, in other words, would kick the crap out of his Robins as he trained them to be ready to brawl with the evils of Gotham. Once the whole team was back in the mountain, Red Tornado made a surprise appearance from his room and had us all gather together. Hello, young heroes. He spoke in his kind of scratchy robotic tone that was similar to listening to high-volume bass music out of a pair of headphones you got from a dollar store. I have a mission for you of a more personal nature. I ask that you all go to Salem, Massachusetts in order to check on my longtime friend Dr. Fate. We had an appointment a couple days ago, but unusually he hasn't responded to any forms of communication sent to him. Seeing as it's not an official mission and it's in a single place, you all can take the Zeta Beam teleporter as his home is rather close to one. Red Tornado continued, and I saw Miss Martian slump in her seat at not being able to fly her baby across the world. The Red Tornado's voice took on a more solemn tone. My old friend is very old and could very well have passed, so beware the wards of the Tower of Fate. It will not tolerate insult. Yeah, insulting the tower that's thousands of years old, flooded with magic, and tied to Dr. Fate that gained some sentience over its long existence sounds like a terrible idea. Thank you for the warning, Red Tornado, Calder spoke as he stood up and the rest of the team followed his action. We will get going then. We then left Mount Justice through the Zeta Beam teleporter, and just as I expected, Kid Flash began making noise about not believing in magic to appeal to Miss Martian and Artemis. Wait, so you have seen Wonder Woman's lasso, right? Or hell, I am a literal walking an example of the supernatural, Kid Flash. I said with incredulity in my tone, as I honestly thought with my presence that he wouldn't be as much of a tool and basically think I was lying about being a spirit. Well, it's just that there is no scientific proof of your existence beforehand, and with how sensors can't really lock onto you, we can't rule out that you are simply dimensionally displaced, and that's why most people and machines cannot see you. He said weakly, as though he was making up his shit on the spot. Kid Flash, I can literally take you to hell. Remember that offer from before? That wasn't a joke. I can literally at this very moment open a portal and we can all go to hell and fight semi-immortal demons that want to eat or torture our souls into a power source for themselves. I said seriously, and for a moment I considered just opening a Garganta in the middle of this empty night street to prove said point, but I decided not to. Kid Flash, magic is very much a real thing. Atlantean magic is a very real thing, and you see it every day when my tattoos light up, and even Miss Martian's people have shamans capable of using some magic. Yes, the shamans of my people are highly revered even if there is so few of them, Megan explained, and I recalled the absolute monster that was the Martian Sorcerer Supreme. That was the reason why the Guardians, the race of aliens that created the power rings, messed with the Martian race to make them weaker, as they were more dangerous than Kryptonians with their powers. Well, I don't believe in it, all right. I won't believe in anything I cannot calculate and understand through science. Kid Flash finally snapped after being put on the spot by us, and I kind of got what he meant, as with his intelligence he was able to figure out the Flash formula and recreate it, giving him his mentor's powers. Enough. We are here, Robin said as we reached the field where the tower was supposed to be. So, where is the tower then? Kid Flash taunted, and I wanted to just kick him, but as I was repeatedly sending out my pesquisa I felt the presence of 3 very potent souls behind us. A test of faith, Calder muttered, and then out of his pocket, he pulled out a large golden key that Red Tornado gave us in case we needed to enter the tower if Dr. Fate would not respond to us hanging out on his property. Calder, wait, I called out, making him stop, and then I turned around to the invisible group of 3 people behind us. I can feel your chaotic filthy taint. Come out now. I yelled as I flared my spiritual pressure, and as the air began to vibrate you could clearly see a sort of large air bubble in the vibrating air that was resisting my pressure before the invisibility field popped like a balloon. Oh phooey. You aren't any fun at all, kid. A voice yelled yet out, and as the field of invisibility collapsed, I saw among the bound form of Kent Nelson and the charlatan Abracadabra, was the one entity on Earth that I truly saw as a threat to my life. Clarion the Witch Boy, I said as my spiritual energy ramped up to its fullest, even making my teammates stagger away from me as they knew if I was taking this so seriously that only Superboy and Calder could possibly help me. Stay out of the way, all of you. His chaos magic will unmake you, with none of you having magic resistance, nor can he be conceptually killed or captured due to his alignment with chaos being ever-shifting. I explained. Wow, kid, you really know your stuff. But what is a baby demon doing on the side of angels, I wonder? He mused before bursting into insane laughter as he pets the demonic-looking cat that was his familiar and binding him to this plane of existence. I didn't say anything as I honestly thought playing dumb to the cat's importance was better, so I may be able to get a zero off to kill it in the middle of battle. Bah, what does it matters, but hey, for being so contrary to demons I will tell you what, newbie. I will let you live today, haha. Clarion cackled as he obviously loved seeing what he thought to be a demon, a force of evil working for good which fitted his chaos alignment. So, you the little fish brat that should have never been born when I sunk Atlantis, gimme the key or I will turn you into hermaphrodite dolphin. He said, pointing to Calder. Get Dr. Fate inside the tower and have him or someone else put on Fate's helmet, I ordered, making my team flinch as I sonitoed into Clarion's personal space and sent a bala-infused punch straight into the Chaos Lord's face, with the explosion separating the trio and allowing Kid Flash to run forward to grab the weak form of Kent Nelson and take him into the now-appear tower. Get them, you faker. Clarion screamed at Abracadabra as I was blasted back by a crimson river of energy from Clarion's outstretched hand, sending me flying through the air and through several trees before I could roll to a stop. Damn, they got away, I muttered, seeing how his accomplice went into the tower to obviously contest getting the helmet, and Clarion's familiar that bound him to Earth was nowhere to be seen.